Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time visiting the show or getting on my channel, well, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm happy you found it. Welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that's going to be a real brief talk, and it's going to be talk about grief. Now, for a lot of people who've been listening to this podcast, and I've lost a lot of family within the past 5 years, and the holiday times is when we really start missing a lot of family that is no longer with us. And it's a difficult time for so many people. So I just wanted to give a quick talk about it, because it's okay if you're feeling sad or if you're missing your loved one. It's natural, it's okay, but it's never easy. So the first thing we really have to do is acknowledge our feelings. That's something we definitely want to do. We want to allow ourselves to feel that grief. And it's okay to feel the sadness. It's okay to even feel anger. And it's even okay to feel joy in the midst of all that loss and all that grieving. One thing that you can possibly try is journaling, talking about the loved one that you've missed and all your emotions that you're feeling at this time and you're going through. Start talking about it. Journal. Even if you don't want to journal, do recording. Record your voice and just talk about what you're feeling, and then eventually go back to it and listen to it. Second thing that you can do is talk about or honor that person that you've missed. Honor them. Create a tradition like in memory of that person, whether it's be lighting a candle, preparing their favorite dish, or sharing stories about them. You could definitely dedicate a moment during the holiday gatherings to reflect on their lives and what they've done and what they've meant to you in comfort of all your family and friends. That's something that you can do. I'm going to name a third thing that you can do is set realistic expectations. Decide what traditions you can handle and which ones you need to modify or skip this year, because sometimes you may not be in a certain mood, but you don't want to be by yourself. So you have to set some realistic expectations. And I'm going to say this. Last year, I couldn't be with any of my family because it was just too painful. This year, it's okay. I can be around family and I can talk about my wife. But last year, I couldn't. So you have to set your own expectations to see what might work for you. Communicate your limits with family and friends is another thing that you can also do. If you have family and friends that you're going to be around, let them know, hey, look, I might be emotional at times, but hey, I'm trying to get past it and I want to be around family and friends, but I might walk out if something gets a little too weighty on me or my emotions or whatever. And it has nothing to do with you or the party or anybody in it. It's just something that I have to do for me, for my own personal well-being. So it's okay to do that. And sometimes if things really get really deep for you, sometimes it's okay to seek some type of report. Lean on supportive friends, family, and even your faith community. Consider attending grief support. They have all kind of groups that have grief support, whether it be online or in person or even at your place of worship. So that's something that you can do as well. It's about taking care of yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. So make sure you also get some sleep, great nutrition, and you have to get exercise. Now, I've been lacking in that, in that I would say, in that part, getting sleep. For some reason, Sometimes sleep has been eluding me, but last night finally I got like 7 hours of sleep for the first time in a week. So I do know that sleep is so awesome, and I don't know about you, but I love my sleep. I gotta have at least 7-8 hours to feel good. But you definitely want to get enough rest. You got to engage in self-care activities, whether it be walking, exercising, meditating, or even reading. I like all those, so all of those work for me. And in this time, you also probably need to plan ahead, strategize on how you want to handle your holiday events and your traditions. I'm just trying to shoot some ideas because I know how important and how lonely people can get around the holiday times, and how important it is to be reminded of certain things that we can do in the event that we're missing a loved one. So sometimes you might even have to strategize how you handle your holiday events, have an exit plan if you feel overwhelmed during gatherings. You also want to find joy in the moments. Engage in activities that bring comfort, such as watching a favorite movie or decorating a certain way, and allow yourself moments of laughter and joy without guilt. I mean, it's okay. You can do these things and still live, because the bottom line, you're still here. So the only thing I don't want you to do, there's a lot of things you don't want, like avoiding your emotions, suppressing your feelings, and bottling everything up inside. That's one thing you don't want to do, because that can really intensify your pain later on. Some people overcommit because they want to be around a lot of people. Sometimes you can resist the pressure to attend to every event or maintain all traditions. You don't have to. You can scale that back some. And here's another thing. And this is something that I'm probably guilty of, but I'm working on it, and I'm working through it, being isolated. And my grief sometimes have nothing to do with this, because I'm always isolated because I'm always in front of my computer. And this is coming from a person who partied so much when I was younger. I partied like crazy. But now I am always at my computer, and even when my wife used to have family over and friends, I would stick around for a few minutes, but eventually rubber back to my computer. So make sure you're not being isolated. Be around people. It's only healthy for you. While it might feel natural to have a little solitude, which is okay at times, but staying completely isolated, you wanna prevent that. Also, if you have any family or friends who is going through some grieving, never compare your own grief. I mean, it's all about that person at the time. Don't compare the grief that you've gone through, or say I know or I understand, because I don't think we really can understand any other person's grief, because everybody's grief is completely different. It affects us in different ways. So you may want to stay away from saying, "Oh, I know how you feel." So there's another thing you want to stay away from. Using substances or alcohol. Definitely you don't want to get involved in any of that during the holidays while you're grieving, or anything of that nature. Okay, that's pretty much what I got for you today. And never neglect your needs. Whatever you feel that you need while you're grieving, never neglect your needs. Don't ignore your physical, emotional well-being. Grieving is exhausting, and believe me, I'm quite sure if you're grieving or went through the grieving process, you already know how exhausting that is. And when I first started grieving, I thought maybe there was a time limit, but I realized there is no time limit. There is no expiration date on grieving. It's just something that we have to work through. It's something that we're going to have to live with. And, we're going to always miss our loved ones, no matter what. So, at one point, I even felt I obligated to be cheerful. You don't have to be obligated to be cheerful around the holiday times. If that's just not you, hey, you got to be yourself, but take care of yourself and try to find joy. Try to find something that's going to make you happy. Hey, my name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast. And do me a favor. Tell your family and friends about this podcast. And right now, go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. Check like and then subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm actually trying to grow on YouTube. So, hey, do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe. And real quick, if you are grieving, sometimes it's okay to volunteer for other people who might be grieving, or seek a group like within your own worship house or anything, or even a group outside or online for grieving. That's all I got for you today, and I hope your holiday is fruitful. I hope it's joyful, and I hope God will bless you and your family. Oh, real quick, don't forget Poetry Friday. I'll have a brand new poem for you. And again, see you later. Be blessed. Bye-bye. Oh, my.